All right, are we live? I think we're live. Let me know if you can hear me. It looks good, but I haven't done this on this channel yet, so I'm not sure if it's working, but let's find out together. This stuff in the background is just yeah, the video is a little delayed in starting, but it should be going now. Yeah, this stuff in the background is just raw footage from the Heart of Darkness, the entire series. It's mostly similar to what ended up in the episodes, but not all of it's exactly the same, especially the last episode, which I don't even know if we'll get to. It's like 45 minutes long. I don't know if you guys will have enough questions to keep this going that long, but yeah, if we get there, there's a lot of unused scenes in that. So anyway, yeah, this is just to kind of wrap up the season. There's no oh, the stream may be temporarily blocked because apparently there's footage from that Hasbro owns. I don't know why they have a problem with the stream, but when they don't care about their videos being on YouTube. But anyway, I don't know, this might get cut off. If it does, then maybe I'll just black out the video and we can keep talking. We'll see. Hang on a sec, let me just see this message. Exempt channels for blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's just because it's detecting the cartoon footage, obviously. But anyway, yeah, so basically I just wanted to kind of chat with you guys and let you know what the plan is from here on out, because obviously these videos take a long time to make. Every episode is like hundreds of hours of work, especially if you include the like finding the footage, because when I wrote these episodes, I kind of got an idea as to what I wanted in each episode, but then I had to find footage that would work for the script, and then I had to rewrite it a bunch of times because I just couldn't find stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of time and effort to find the footage. Is probably the hardest thing, is to find stuff that's gonna work for the scenes. So that's why I know it's a hot topic, you know, a hot issue with people, and a lot of people get their back up about it. But I'm glad that there's AI coming out. I mean, yeah, it sucks for people who work in the industry that get paid. I understand that. But for people like me, our studio, like independent creators, it's going to open up so many more doors. Like, we'll be able to make these episodes in a fraction of the time. So if you enjoy this content, AI is a good thing. Trust me. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but there's no stopping progress. There's been so many times when I used to work in a bank, and so many people lost their jobs when the automated banking machines came out because they didn't need tellers anymore. You know, and that's happened twice. I mean, once in like the 90s, or I mean, that was before my time, but you know, when they first came out with ABMs, and then again in like the mid 2010s, which I was there for, where branches would just get rid of all of their staff. But you know, you adapt. There's just no holding back progress, unfortunately, no matter what you want to do. But I'm getting way off topic. Anyway, let's read some comments. Hey Mitch, yeah, there will be eventually more episodes. I don't know when. I mean, we could be looking like a year from now. We could be looking at a couple of years from now. It might be sooner. It all depends on what happens with our pitch to Hasbro. That's like the next thing that we're gonna, well, the next, kind of to give you a bit of a roadmap of where we're going from here, the next thing I'm going to do is just compile all of these episodes from Heart of Darkness into one episode, like I usually do with every new episode that comes out. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually kind of do a little bit of a, well, I'm getting ahead of myself again, but the next thing after that is I'm going to remaster all of the episodes, and that's what leads into our next part, which is the pitch to Hasbro. We're gonna take the series, the remastered episodes, so they're the best version, We're going to leave these older episodes up, particularly because there's, you know, a couple of million views on them in total between all of the episodes. And that's what we're going to show Hasbro. We're going to show them this is what we could do without any money. This is how many people it reached without any promotion whatsoever. Like, all of you guys who found this either searched for it or it came up in your recommendations and you clicked on it. There was zero promotion other than what one of our viewers, whose name escapes me right now, and I feel bad about that, but he was super helpful in promoting the series. He posted it on tons of forums, but I think we probably got like maybe 100 views from that. Like, people just weren't reached by this. So if Hasbro actually did continue G1, I think there's a ton of people that would be interested in it, because look at all of you that found this. You know, we've got almost 10,000 subscribers, but way more regular viewers, because a lot of the, like, I look in the analytics and so few, it's like 90% of our viewers don't even have a YouTube channel, like a YouTube account, so they can't subscribe. So I guess they just bookmark it and refresh it or something, I don't know. But yeah, Lynn pitched to Hasbro, so I probably got ahead of myself again, but I've been kind of letting you guys know through the community posts over the past probably year or two that once we were, I mean, our plan was always to approach Hasbro. This was, I always put in the episode titles that it's a demo. That's what it is. That's what it started as, really. It kind of took on a life of its own, and a lot of people, you know, look at this as almost like an official continuity. But we were just trying to make a demo to show Hasbro that you could make more G1 episodes with either no or very little new animation on a shoestring budget, and there would be an audience for it. And I think we proved both of those things with this. So I've been in contact with a guy who used to work for Hasbro, and he's actually responsible for the revival of G.I. Joe. His name is Kirk Bazigian. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's retired now from Hasbro, but he has a company that pitches ideas to companies like Hasbro, and I would assume probably Hasbro is his main place that he pitches it to. But yeah, he's agreed to help us once we've got everything done, which we pretty much do now. But like I said, I want to remaster the episodes so they're the best version of the episodes. Plus, the main reason I really want to remaster them is so that there's the same all the characters have the same voice throughout the series, particularly Galvatron, who went through a huge change when Nathan Dang, the original actor, he did a more movie voice for Galvatron, and now Stephen Parks, who voices Galvatron now, he does more of a season 3, which is what I was hoping for. But at the start, it was impossible to find. It was so hard to find people who even understood what the concept for this was. So I was really fortunate to have a bunch of really talented voice actors to work with. But having all of the characters sound the same throughout the entire series is really important for me to pitch it to Hasbro, because if they do watch all of the episodes, like whoever, you know, we get this in front of watches all of the episodes, they're going to be like, why do the voices sound so different? Why is the quality all over the map? That's why we're going to pitch them the remastered episodes, because at least then, like, I learned, I didn't know anything. I was a banker making this stuff. I had no idea what I was doing when I started this way back in 2013, I guess, was when I first started putting episodes together. I know they didn't make it to YouTube until 2014. Yeah, I knew nothing. So I've learned a lot about it. I'm still probably not nearly as efficient as I should be, but yeah, I've learned a lot, so I want it to all look the same when we pitch it to them. And what we're going to be pitching is just basically asking Hasbro to revive G1, basically continue it on just like we did. It doesn't necessarily have to be this exact same story, but we're just hoping that they'll be interested in reviving it as a web series, like something for their YouTube channel. Not something huge, not to start at least. I mean, I think that they probably could put it on their, hub and Paramount and wherever else they put their content, Nickelodeon, I think, I don't know. Yeah, they probably could. The likelihood of them ever doing that, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. If they did pick this up as a official web series and it was proved to be really popular, then who knows? Maybe they will fully revive it. But yeah, the whole reason I started this thing, and probably why most of you are interested, is I'm just so sick of reboots, like getting invested in characters, only to know that you're going to get maybe 3 seasons out of it, and then they're going to axe it and they're going to reboot it again with a whole new direction. It's fatiguing, like it's tiresome. Anyway, so that's basically what the pitch is going to be. Let me know if you have more questions about it. I'm just going to jump down to the bottom and answer the most recent questions, because I don't even know if I've been going so slow with my answers. I don't know if the people who asked them are still here. Steph, hey Steph, is this a one-man show except the voices? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I would say so. I mean, we always try, and I've always wanted to make it look like we're a big, production with the credits and stuff, but realistically I do like probably 95% of everything by myself. The other guy on the project, Jamar, was a lot more involved back in the day, but he's busy. He lives in Japan as well, so it was always difficult for us to like connect at the same time on things. And as any of you know who've been around for a while, this project took a huge hiatus. It's been on hiatus longer than it's been an active series. Like in 2016, I think it was, my job with the bank got insanely busy, and I knew it was going to be insane for at least a year or two. So I just, at the time, took a break, and it ended up being like a 6-year break, and which was my fault. I mean, I just got distracted by the things. I got lazy. I had a kid. There's a whole bunch of real life stuff, and I picked it back up, I guess, in 2022. And by then, Jamar was really busy with other stuff. He has he runs a comic company called Rising Sun Comics in Japan, and he got really busy with that and with his other job, and so it's mostly just been me since then. That's the long, really convoluted answer to your short question stuff. So it's mostly me. People like Matt, who does Spike's voice. He did some background work. Like any of you who really know the show, the original G1 series well, would recognize the part where Spike puts on his Power Master suit the first time. He's just putting on his Headmaster gear. That scene was on Cybertron, though, when he did that. At the end of the last episode of G1, the last official episode, I guess I should say, he put on the suit, but it had the starry sky in the background, like a space background. Matt changed it to look like blue sky, like this scene that you're watching right now. So that kind of stuff, like, I don't even know how to do that. That's how rudimentary my editing skills are. So yeah, I'm sure I could be a lot more efficient, but yeah, that's something I'll work on in the future. The He-Man continuation did okay on Netflix. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, and they did a lot of advertising for that. So imagine if they did the same thing for this. Like, we've got like closing on 3 million views on this channel with 0 promotion. 0. All of you guys found this yourselves. So imagine if they did promote it. I think that there's probably a much wider audience for it. And especially outside of YouTube, like I was saying, for any of you who weren't here, most of our viewers don't even have or at least they don't watch the episodes. They don't watch our content from their YouTube account. So I think most of our viewers are probably older. They probably have kids and families and stuff, and they're not active on YouTube. They're not, having comment wars with people. So anyway, will Victory be coming in the near future? And we're not going to do like I haven't even actually seen all of Victory. That's where I tapped out. I'm not an anime fan. I don't like Like, weirdly, I love all things Japanese, but I can't stand anime or manga. It's just not manga, sorry. It's just not for me. I just can't stand I don't like the animation. Oh, look at this. It's screwing up. The video is screwing up. So this actually was how some of the footage was, because I transferred it from my old hard drive. So that scene that you just saw, hopefully you're seeing the same thing I see, with the Power Master Prime driving into the Decepticon Pretenders. That was all garbled, so I had to go back and find this scene and re-rip it from the DVD. I have all these DVDs. I didn't like pirate any of this stuff. It was all done as legally as you can do it. But yeah, and you might notice also the screen flickers black every once in a while. That's not the stream. That actually is how this original footage, this is the original raw footage for anyone who wasn't here, of the Heart of Darkness episodes, mostly ripped from Transformers Master Force. And for some reason, when I put it in my editing software, it would go black for a frame every once in a while. And I had to go and manually edit all that out. I didn't have to. I mean, a lot of you guys probably wouldn't have even noticed, but it bothered me. And that's another reason why it takes me so long to do this stuff, because I'm so, like, I can't let stuff like that. If I notice a problem, I have to fix it. I don't know if it's perfectionism. I mean, you can't really call me a perfectionist when it's this raw, but, you know, it bothers me if I know there's a problem and I know how to fix it. I can't leave it in. Lynn's last question. Someone said about the MLP G5, they could have just moved on from the main 6 to the CM6, Alt 6, or Student 6 instead of a brand new series. Yeah, I don't know any of those things, but yeah, it's so frustrating to me when they just constantly reboot. I can't think of anything. Can you guys think of anything that's been rebooted as much as Transformers? Like, what has, even things that have existed for longer, like G.I. Joe, don't have nearly as many iterations as Transformers. Like, I don't know how many iterations Transformers has. Like, there's G1, Beast Wars, Beast Machines. I'm probably missing something in there. I'm not a fan of those. Robots in Disguise, the Unicron trilogy, the worst Transformers stuff in my opinion. Armada, the middle one, whatever that was called, I can't remember. I've blocked this stuff from my memory. That was such garbage. Like, that's one of the reasons why I hate anime, because of the way that the characters react to things. It's just so unnatural. Cybertron, Transformers Animated, Transformers Prime, Robots in Disguise again, whatever came after that. There was like the one for babies, City Bots or something. I don't even remember what it's called. And then like the most recent one, I'm missing a few. Like, there's been over 10. Yeah, exactly. They should call it G10 at this point. Are you planning more episodes for the Family Series, Kid Retro? Yes, eventually. Not yet. Right now, for anyone who wasn't here, we're going to be pitching this to Hasbro. Hopefully, they're going to take it on they'll pick it up as an official series. Hopefully, they'll keep us involved. I would be honestly happy if they would just revive G1 based on this, and they told me to take a hike, which they can. I mean, they have every right to do that. I don't own this property. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. None of us are. Actually, our Optimus Prime actor, Tom, he has done some stuff for Hasbro. I don't think he's ever played Optimus Prime, oddly enough, even though he does such a good job. But yeah, I mean, he's just, you know, an actor for hire, right? He's not actually involved with Hasbro. But yeah, they could easily just tell us to beat it. And even if they did that, but they were like, hey, we're going to actually try and revive G1, I would be happy. As long as they keep it going, not this Cyberverse crap. Like, I mean, it looks similar, but keep the story going. Look, and people who, you know, I've heard people say not heard, but I've seen people say that, oh, you couldn't keep it going. I mean, like, look at how long it would go. You know, you'd run out of material, which I think is complete BS. Look at Star Wars novels. Look at how long they kept that continuity going until Disney changed it all to Legends. That was in-universe continuity that went for like 30 years. And they never ran out of stuff. Like, they would release books every other month in the same continuity, and it wouldn't step over, you know, it wouldn't step on its own tail, so to speak. Like, they would keep it all within the continuity. So Yeah, look at Lane listing all of these. Like, this is just, and yeah, if you're, that's not if you're, that's it. I was just including animated series, like Bayformers, you know, like how many Transformers movies have there been? And that's a whole different rebooted continuity as well. That's separate from the continuity that's running concurrently on TV. So yeah, it's crazy. Lich Ping, you've done an amazing job. Thank you very much. There's so much untapped potential. Yeah, exactly. There's so much you can do. There's so many characters. Look at season 2, for example. They just introduce characters, no backstory. They're just there and they get their own episode. Like, you could do that kind of thing with so many of these guys. You know, you could go all the way. They're still bringing out G1 characters essentially. I mean, what's her name? Windblade. I mean, she's not very popular, but she fits in with G1. You know, she could be a Cybertronian Transformer. She could get her own episode. I'm sure people wouldn't like it, but, you know. I don't know why people hate her and, what's the other one? Velocitor, something like that. She's quite popular. So it's not just because it's a female Transformer. I mean, I don't know where people get that idea. I mean, look at Alita 1. She's popular. RC. Not that there's many. I mean, I'm not saying that it's an even representation, but I don't think it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid and I was watching Transformers, I hated the human characters. I hated Spike and Carly and Sparkplug, all of them. I wanted episodes with no humans in it. That's why I didn't put any humans really in this until the very end with the Power Masters. And so I don't think that it's like, you know, you don't need to have someone who looks like you in the series to be able to relate to it. You don't even need to be able to relate to it. I never related to this series. I just liked it, you know, for the action, and it's cool watching robots transform and fight each other. Yeah, that's a good point, Lynn. Windblade, created by the fans, hated by the fans. We're just a bunch of self-haters. Let me just go back up and read the comments that the questions from earlier. Kamen Rider War Robots, cool name. I really hope you get to victory if that series turns out to be part of this continuation. I don't know. I mean, we might pull some elements from Victory. Like I said, I need to finish that. I think I got like 6 episodes in, and I was so burnt out from Headmasters. I'd watched them all back to back. I watched Headmasters, then Master Force. I really liked Master Force, but by the time I got to Victory, it just felt so generic. Like, I liked the look of some of the characters. I wasn't particularly huge on the animation style. It wasn't much different, but I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't like the sound effects they used or the music. I was just worn out by that point. I always meant to come back to it, but I just never have. If we do end up making more episodes in this style, which I don't, like I said, I think we're going to probably, when we do make more episodes, it'll be when AI is to a point where we can actually make episodes by instructing the AI on what to do with the visuals, basically. Just the visuals. We're not going to use AI for writing or any of that stuff, or making the episode. It's just going to be for the visual, like, animation side of things. I don't know how long that's going to take, a year or two, maybe less, maybe more. We'll be busy during that whole time. I'm sure this whole Hasbro pitch thing is going to take quite a long time. It's not just going to be an overnight thing. And we're going to be documenting it on the channel. So we'll have a lot of footage, a lot of content for you guys. I've got tons of other stuff planned. My background is actually in comedy writing when it comes to, like, film and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm actually just a banker. I've never gotten paid for any of this stuff, but my other old YouTube channel was like a comedy channel, and so I've got like a series, without giving too much away, where me and Optimus Prime are going to review stuff together, and it's going to be very lighthearted and comedic. So I think people will like that. Like, there's going to be a lot of variety on the channel here going forward. It's not just going to be episode. I mean, there won't be any episodes for the foreseeable future, probably the next year at least. Depending, of course, what happens with Hasbro. If they pick up the series, then, well, you won't see them on this channel anymore, but we'll still be making them in an official capacity if that works out. That's the dream. Thank you very much, Ultron, for the comment you left like 20 minutes ago. Sorry it took me so long. Chris, another Chris. Hello, brother. This is great work, and I've enjoyed every episode. Thank you. I appreciate all of the compliments. And Mitch, yeah, I remember you talking about that before. You do some voice acting yourself. So we're going to be doing another open casting call one more time for the remaster episodes. There won't be a ton of roles available, I don't think. All the major ones are already filled, but yeah, one that we may end up actually recasting, unfortunately, is Tom as Optimus Prime, because I don't know if any of you guys, nobody mentioned it in the comments, but that Optimus Prime was actually me using a AI voice effect. It was still me doing the performance. It wasn't just, I didn't just program it into a computer and say, do Optimus Prime. Like, I did the voice, did the performance, then I applied the effect to it. So that's why Optimus Prime sounded a little different, which you probably, I guess not many people noticed, at least they didn't mention it. So when I do how we always combine the last episode, like all of the parts from the most recent episode, once it's finished, once the story arc is complete, we combine them all and upload them as one big long video, which is what we're going to do with this one. I'm going to actually have to go back and edit out Tom's voice for the first 3 episodes and replace it with my Optimus Prime, because he just didn't have time he's a pro voice actor now. Like, when I found him, he was just some guy on the internet. Now he's a pro voice actor. He's been in hundreds of games and cartoons and stuff like that. He's doing awesome, but that means he can't really help us out anymore. So unfortunately, he didn't make it all the way to the end. I didn't even actually get a response from him, but I know he's a super busy guy. So I didn't have time. So I knew that there was, because of AI again, yeah, it sucks, but it saved this series. Without AI, we wouldn't have gotten here, which is funny because it didn't exist for the vast majority of the project, but it really did save this final story arc. It's the first one where we had any AI stuff, and the Galvatron was a text-to-speech AI in the first episode of Heart of Darkness, and then Steve Parks took over in the second episode, so that's another thing I want to correct for the full episode, like the compilation episode for the full story arc. I want to fix the first episode with that terrible Galvatron text-to-speech AI. It sounds awful. Like, people liked it, but I couldn't stand it. Oh, there goes the video again. So yeah, I had to deal with all this kind of crap happening all the time with this original footage. Hey, Jesse, one of our Patreons, welcome. Transformers War for Cybertron. Was that the one where they had YouTubers? No, that was after that. What was the one? Yeah, there was that YouTube. Remember that YouTube? I think it was on Machinima or whatever it's called. Originally, it was like probably, I don't know, 2016, I want to say. And they had like YouTubers do some of the voices, and the voice for Menasor was really bad. It was like some gamer dude, and his voice just sounded awful. He sounded like a little punk, and he sounded small. Menasor is supposed to sound like menacing. It's all in the name. Like, just terrible. That's probably the worst. That's even worse than the Unicron trilogy, that trash that they uploaded on YouTube. I wish I could remember. It was Combiner Wars. That's what it was. Combiner Wars. Anybody see Combiner Wars? Am I wrong? Was that not the worst thing that they've ever released? I couldn't even believe, like, that was more Bush League than our episodes back then, and that was Bush League. So, like, our production level has come a long way. It's still not great, but it made that look horrible. Like, it made that look, that their official series at that time made our fan series look good by comparison, and that's really pathetic, because they had like something like $100,000 per episode budget, and we had a 0. So really embarrassing. I'm surprised they left those episodes up, to be honest. Let's see, I missed a lot of stuff here. Antonio, welcome to the chat. The Dreamwave comic story animated and completed in cartoon, but is impossible. I wonder if you meant possible. Is it possible? I don't know. I never read any of those. Well, I did read a few of them. The one comic I read that I liked a lot was Regeneration 1, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but I liked it. I thought it was really good. If you like the original Marvel Comics continuity, I thought it did it justice and brought it to a good conclusion. Lich Ping, this would be a good year for Hasbro to announce a continuation. Yeah, exactly. That's why I really wanted to get it done like early in. I was hoping to get it done in 2023 because it's going to take a long time, not only for the pitch, but if they do want to bring G1 back, like it would have been perfect. It's going to take them a long time, but it would have been perfect if they could have at least announced it this year, like in 2024. That would have been so perfect. But I mean, maybe they'll do it in 2027 because that's the 40-year anniversary of when the show ended. Who knows? Yeah, hopefully they don't take too much from today's writing standards. I hope. That's the other thing I hate about these Hasbro. Like, I know Transformers Prime was really popular. I thought it was way too dramatic. Like, I like this lighthearted, like this is as dramatic as I think Transformers should get. You know, like this Heart of Darkness storyline, it's pretty drama filled, but it never gets too deep. You know, nobody's crying. It's not like melodrama, but obviously I made it, so of course I'm gonna think it's okay. But you know, like Transformers, in my opinion, should be action oriented and lighthearted, and I don't want to know how the Cybertron was governed back in the day. I don't care about any of that crap. Like, if I want drama, I'm not gonna watch a Transformers series. It's not gonna hit the beats for me, you know, like. Maybe for kids that are interested in that kind of thing, but I think the vast majority of adults now, the vast majority of G1 fans are probably at least teenagers, you know? I don't think too many little kids watch G1 nowadays. But, so I don't think that they, you know, and I think if you're an adult or a young adult, you're probably going to be going elsewhere for your dramatic content, you know? I mean, I don't really watch too many shows, but, From is one I really liked that's on Paramount. Like, if I want to watch something with like drama, I mean, it's a horror show, but it's got a lot of dramatic undertones. Like, I'm gonna watch that. Like, you can't come close to something like that, or like, you know, back in the day, Game of Thrones, for example. Deep, you know, intricate storylines with a lot of drama. You're not gonna touch that with talking robots. You're just not. So don't even bother. That's my opinion. Series was recommended to you, Land 645. Who recommended it to you? Was it just a YouTube recommendation? Oh yeah, I guess so. Thanks to YouTube. Thank you very much. Yeah, it would be great, Lich, that's what I'm thinking, is if they do bring back G1, think about it, they can go right back to selling their toys through their shows, which they haven't been that successful at in recent years. You know, like, I don't know about you guys that have kids, but my kid has zero interest in the current generation, like Earthspark. Is that what it's called? Earthrise? Earthspark? I don't know. The most recent show, he sees the toys and he's like, these are lame. He likes the G1 inspired ones though. He likes the, you know, the more blocky vehicle in robot mode look, which is what I think attracted a lot of us to the show. That's what attracted me to Transformers in the first place, because you could tell that it was like a vehicle, but as a robot. Now, most of the time, the modern toys look like just a bunch of scrapyard junk stuck together to make a vague looking... They try to make it more human, which is not at all what I was interested in the series for. Yeah, Lynn, that did sound a lot like Peter Cullen, because it technically was. I mean, it basically took my performance and made it sound like Peter Cullen. It sounds way too old though. Like, I want to get Steve Parks, the guy who does Galvatron. He's the master of... He makes all of the effects himself. Like, he does his... If you go to his channel, the link is in my our main channel page. It says our cast's channels, and if you find Stevie P83, it shows how he makes the voices, and he does like a Shockwave voice, for example. He's like, "What is your command, Galvatron?" That's a terrible Shockwave, which is funny because I used to play Shockwave before he took him over. But yeah, he'll do like his Shockwave, and it's very close. But then he like morphs it so it sounds identical to the what was his name, Corey Burton, that played Shockwave originally. yeah, it makes it sound just like it. And he did the same thing with Galvatron's voice. Like, he does a very close, like, I can't do Galvatron at all. Believe me, I tried. And he'll do his, which sounds pretty good. And then he puts the effect on it, and it sounds identical. Like, he just makes the voice effect sound the same, and he tweaks, like, the timbre of the performance, like the tones, and makes it more similar to the original voice, and it sounds identical because he's a good actor. You know, and that's the key to that. I think a lot of people, he gets a lot of hate on his channel because people think that he's been making his videos with his voices for way before AI, but they all accuse him, oh, you're just, you know, text-to-speech AI. And they don't bother, you know, they're just trolling, I guess. But, you know, people don't understand that there's a lot of people don't understand. I'm sure a lot of you guys do, but a lot of people don't understand there's a performance underneath, even in AI. Voice to voice, like, as long as it's your original voice, as long as you're not just typing it in, obviously that, yeah, there's no performance. I mean, you still have to write the dialogue, but there's no performance there at all. You're just typing it. That is not what he does. And that's, I mean, I had to do that for the first episode of Heart of Darkness with Galvatron's voice, but that is definitely not the route we want to go. The only reason I did that was because we were way behind, and I knew we'd be remastering it anyway. So nobody's going to watch the old original videos anymore once the remasters. They'll be far superior. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting way off topic. I do that a lot. You'll probably notice. Okay, Riptor, you did notice. I didn't think anybody did, but I guess a lot of people. We had like 60 people watching. I'm sure there'll be comments once the video is, you know, up, and not. Oh, there goes the video again. See, it does it a lot. I had to deal with a lot of crap when I was making these, especially when early on. Oh my God, I didn't understand. I still don't understand much about computers. Wow, this is a really bad one. And it's still going. I don't really understand a lot about computers, but I do understand now that RAM is what you need to do video editing. I didn't know that. I thought I needed ROM. Is that the right one? Yeah. Yeah. So ROM is more like the memory where you save stuff, and RAM is what the computer uses actively when you're like making something or doing something actively. I didn't understand that. So my computer, when I first started this, was only 4 gigs of RAM. Gigs? Yeah, I think it's gigs. See how little I know about computers? It was horrendously slow. It would hang constantly. I didn't even know how I made the first batch of episodes. I don't know how I didn't just walk away from it. Like, I was very dedicated back in the day. But yeah, it was just a nightmare editing this stuff. Like, I'm going to upload a video in the coming weeks or month or so of how the series was made and show you, like, top to bottom how I made an episode, and I think you'll be shocked at how tedious it is. Like, I know a lot of you've heard me talk about it, like, or you know, posting in the community posts about it, but oh my God, it was so tedious. Anyway, Snarl, Darkwing and Dreadwing appear. I don't know, maybe. Depends on what happens. I mean, I'd like to use those characters. I like them. I always found it weird how it's 2 jets that just plug in. It's like that. What was the middle series of the Unicron trilogy called? The one where the two they did the combining gimmick where one robot would make the top half and the other robot would make the bottom half. They would be like 2 bot combiners. It was so pointless. It was like they're not any bigger, you know? I mean, like, Devastator makes sense. He's way bigger, stronger, you know, has an obvious advantage to combining with all of the other Constructicons. But 2 bots of the same size combining, where the one half is just the top half and the other one's the bottom half, like, they're not gaining any size. It doesn't make any sense. It's such a lame gimmick. Darkwing and Dreadwing remind me of that, but I do like them. Ben, I have enjoyed all the episodes. Thank you. Happy to hear you're learning the UI attack. Well, I'm not really learning much about it yet. Should make rotoscoping characters. Yeah, that was something I don't really... I'm familiar with the concept of rotoscoping. I have no idea how to do it. Like, animation is way beyond me. Monkey Nut. Hey, Liam! Liam is played Galvatron, was gonna be playing Galvatron in all of these episodes, but he had school. He's actually a busy kind of guy. Had college or uni, and it was just really difficult to get for him to get time, and his recording situation wasn't great either because he was living in an apartment, I think, at the time. Okay, yeah, I never go on Discord. I'll check that out. Carter Chase, if you're looking for casting, I would be interested. Soundwave, those characters are all taken. Prime, if you can do a good Prime, definitely send us fanaticfilms@hotmail.com. The link is in our business opportunities section of the About page on our YouTube channel. So just you can always send a you don't have to wait for the casting call. You can always send an audition there. You can just do it as a YouTube video and make it private and link to it, or public, whatever, or just send us the sound files. And that goes for anybody who wants to audition for any character. I mean, the ones that are pretty much the most available right now would be Optimus Prime. Although he's very, like, I'm inclined, because of having done this series for so long, it is really difficult to organize people who have busy lives. You know, like I was just talking about Liam, like, he's a great actor, just didn't have the time to do it at that point. Like, I couldn't wait for him to be free and be able to, like, it was just, the whole series was going to be held up by one person's busy schedule, and I just can't, you have to find another way. And that's why normally if I can play a role, I will. That's why I play like 65 characters. None of them, I don't do any of them great. Like, I can't think of any that I really think, oh man, maybe Grimlock. I think my Grimlock's pretty good. All the Dinobots I'm okay with. I don't know what that says about me, like, as a person, like, that I can only play the stupid characters. But those are the only ones that I'm pretty confident in, that I wouldn't, like, be like, yeah, we need to get someone else to play Grimlock because I'm terrible. Like, I think I'm pretty good at that. Ironhide would be one that I'd like to recast. If you can do a really good Ironhide. I think mine sucks. It's gotten worse, I think, whereas most of my characters have improved a bit. Wheeljack as well, if you can do a better Wheeljack than me. No one's ever said anything about it, which is good. Like, they haven't said it's good or it's bad, so that to me means they didn't notice it really, which is kind of what I'm going for. But yeah, anybody that wants to audition, go ahead and send an audition, send whatever you want. I mean, even ones that are, you know, that are good in this show, you can still send in an audition. It doesn't hurt. I mean, we've always had everybody involved in the project has always had the philosophy for the best of the project. If it sounds more accurate to G1, then that person should be playing them. You know, that's the way we've always approached it. I just don't think that you're gonna get a much better, you know, Starscream than what Stevie does. It's perfect in my opinion. Like, so those ones we're not actively looking to recast, but that doesn't mean you can't send in an audition. You know, I mean, who knows? You might somehow get his is like 98% perfect, I would say. Maybe yours is 100 or 99, and in that case, yeah, we would recast it. He'd be happy to step down. He's got a ton of other characters to play. Lynn, I think that there is room for Transformers Cybertron and TVA and RB. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely don't want any more Bayformers. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Jesse, you grew up with the Unicron trilogy, you poor soul. I can't imagine. Well, I guess, you know what? If that was your intro to Transformers, and visually it was a good show. I mean, all of those were good shows. You know, especially Armada. I think I suffered through that entire... I actually tapped out during Cybertron. I think I made it halfway through, which is funny because Cybertron, I think, is the most watchable in retrospect. But Armada, oh man, that was brutal. Those kids... Rad was Rad? Yeah, Rad was in that one. Kicker was in the next one. That guy was so annoying too. Yeah, but if that was your first exposure to Transformers, it probably wouldn't seem as bad. One sec, I just gotta turn the light on. It's getting really dark here. I'm on the West Coast, so it's just like 4:30 and the sun is starting to set and it's getting kind of dark and the screen is killing my eyes. Just one sec. The video's about to loop over. I just set it to loop. I didn't actually expect this to be on here that long. I didn't expect anyone to be in here, to be honest, so I'm surprised. We've had a high of 23, 26, I can't remember. But there's been over 20 people in here, which is impressive. I didn't know that many people cared. Where was I? Jesse Carter, yeah. Send us an audition, man. Woman, whatever you are. Lan grew up with the VH tips on G1 and the movie and actually watched Beast Wars. So you must have grown up in the 90s then, right? Energon, that was it. Energon. Oh god, power linking. Yes, that's right. That was such a ridiculous concept. I guess the idea is two robots combined are more powerful somehow, even though they're just shooting their gun that they had when they were in singular form. Who knows? Maybe it somehow links to their arm. You know, maybe it's like an intravenous type of thing. They should be taller, but they're only going to be as tall as the bottom half of the bottom guy, the bottom of the bottom and the top of the top, if that makes sense. Because the torso isn't going to be any taller. The waist is going to be the same, but we could talk about that all day. And that's where this channel's going for a little while, is probably stupid stuff like this. Complaining about stuff that we all hate. Yeah, Southern drawl, the Ironhide Southern drawl is just, I can't do it. And my voice isn't deep enough. Like, Peter Cullen's voice is so deep. But anyway, yeah, what else can I say about where the channel is going? So basically, first thing that's going to happen is going to combine all of the parts of Heart of Darkness. That's hopefully going to be done in the next couple of weeks, although there's going to be more work involved in that than normal. Normally I just cut it up, add commercial bumpers in between, take out the intros of the middle episodes, and call it a day. This time we're going to be re-recording Optimus's lines so he sounds the same throughout the whole thing. I don't want it suddenly switching in the last episode. Like, this is basically going to be the first of the remasters, essentially, because it's as good as it's going to look. So we're just going to be fixing the voices. So that we'll basically be remastering that one at the same time as putting it all together into one compilation. And then we'll go back after that's done and remaster the rest of the episodes, starting with the first one again. And I'm just going to upload them as one long episode, aside from Heart of Darkness, which I think when I do it as a remaster, quote unquote, I think I'll split that into two, just so that we have 5 episodes, because otherwise we're going to be showing Hasbro just 4 episodes, and one of them, Heart of Darkness, will be way longer than the rest. Like, the average episode is like 25-ish minutes. It's longer than a normal, like, I'm talking like parts 1, 2, and 3 of, say, like, No Place Like Home, the one about Omega Supreme. That's a 3-parter. If you put it all together, it's like 27 minutes, I think. So it's longer than a normal G1 episode, which would have been 22 minutes and change, so that it could fit in all the, the 8 minutes of commercials to fill a half-hour time slot. So our episodes are a little longer if you look at them as all of the parts as one episode. Oh, it's blocked our stream. Hang on a second. Let me just pause the video. Let me just go in and, because I'm just about done. I don't think you guys want to hear me blab on anymore. Oops, it didn't pause because I forgot that I changed the hotkey. 1 second, I gotta restart it again. Just bear with me here. I'm not used to streaming anymore. It's been years since I had a gaming channel, and that's where I did all of my streaming. Okay, there, I stopped it, so hopefully you'll be able to see it again in a second. The stream should hopefully pick back up in 1 sec. There we go. I think we're back. Yes, right, man. Try refreshing it. If you can hear me or can't hear, well, I guess if you can't hear me, there's not much point in me telling you to refresh it, is there? Yeah, that's why I play the Dinobot so well. I don't know if it's, is it still frozen? I can't tell. It looks like it is still frozen. Hopefully not. That'd be a sad ending. Oh, man. Okay, hang on a second here. Let me try restarting the stream. Okay, let's try and restart this here. Stop streaming. There we go. Let's try that. All right. Here we go. Restart. Are we back? It looks like we might be back. It's not giving me the block icon thing anymore. All right, there we go. Okay, good. Typing sounds, yeah, I know. I had to crank my mic up. I hope you guys can't hear the traffic because we live on kind of a busy street now, and I sometimes when I'm like recording stuff at a really like high mic volume, I can hear the cars outside, which is annoying. Anyway, what was I talking about? I forgot. Oh yeah, the remaster. I think actually what happened was that it finally, for some reason, it was just looping again. And for some reason, it decided to not like the fact that there was a Transformers episode in the background. And so it blocked it on copyright violation grounds. So I don't know if this will be taken down. If it does, whatever. I'm going to upload, like I was saying in the text there, I'm going to basically do, I wanted to go on camera so you guys can see how beautiful I am. Not really. I was trying to find my webcam. I'm working on a desktop and it doesn't have like a built-in webcam. So I've got a webcam, but we just bought a house like not too long ago and moved. So I've still got a ton of my stuff in boxes. So I'll find that and then you can see my luscious hair. Just be warned, I have beer. I look like a homeless guy right now, so maybe don't watch. Just put it on audio only. But yeah, I'm gonna put a video up and talk to you guys. Basically, sum this up. It won't be such a long meandering thing like this has been. So I appreciate you guys sticking with it, especially you guys who've been here the entire time. There's 9 of you, so thank you very much for coming out. I'm gonna basically just sum this all up in like a 10-minute video. Yeah, live streams are very sensitive, which is one of the reasons why I've never tried to do it, because I kind of figured this might not work. I'm surprised this actually went as well as it did. Like, I thought we were gonna get taken down as soon as it started warning me after like 2 minutes. 2 minutes in, it was threatening me. It was like, stop showing this. So anyway, yeah, just to wrap up, basically the remasters I'm going to just do in order in one long. We're going to basically end up with 5 remastered videos. There's going to be the first one, which I might retitle. I think I might put up a community poll with some of my ideas for a different name. I don't like the Redux. It sounds like if you're watching this and pretending that it's in sequence, the Rebirth and then the Redux. I thought at first that was a good idea. Now I don't really like it. I was thinking of something like, I didn't want to do the Japanese version of the name, which is the Return of Rodimus Prime. But let me know if you guys have any suggestions. I was also thinking of Divided We Stand, because they're, that whole episode, the whole story arc is about the Matrix being needed in two places at once. They're divided. And it sets up the later Heart of Darkness storyline where Prime is weak because he doesn't have the Matrix for the first time ever. But yeah, I had a few ideas kicking around. Maybe I'll put them up in a poll and you guys can vote on it. And then there'll be, that'll be all one episode. Then there'll be No Place Like Home, which is the Omega Supreme centric storyline. And then there's Pretender to the Throne, which is the Decepticon Zarak insurrection storyline. And then Heart of Darkness is so long. It's 45 minutes. So it's basically almost as long as 2 of our, compilation episodes. So I'll make that a 2-parter. So then there'll be 5 episodes. And that's what the remasters, I'm like a broken record here, but that's what we're going to pitch to Hasbro. So, and then once I've done all the remasters, once that's done, we're going to be working on the pitch. Like I'll give you guys updates. Like we're going to be uploading other videos. You'll see going forward. There's actually a couple of series that I have ideas for. One is reviewing, kind of taking like a humorous look back at some of I was thinking of making a series called Reliving G1 and reviewing every single episode, but I think some of the episodes would be boring to review. There's a couple of things like the first episode, More Than Meets the Eye. In part 3, I think it is, Wheeljack's voice changes. So there's a couple of kind of like some easy, low-hanging fruit comedic things that you could get out of that. Like stuff like that. And there's another one with, like I was saying, me and Optimus Prime are going to review things Transformers related to start, maybe going out and branching out into like other kind of retro things, maybe even some modern stuff, anything that would be funny to watch Optimus Prime reacting to. And I was going to use the footage from the seldom seen generation or season 5, the one with that stupid cube. And it was actually, I thought it was really bad CGI Optimus Prime, but it's actually a giant puppet. The one with Tommy Kennedy sitting on his shoulder. I'm going to basically Photoshop myself in over Tommy Kennedy. So I'm going to be sitting on Optimus Prime's shoulder reviewing stuff. So it's going to be stupid, but lighthearted. Like those are 2 of the series. There's other stuff planned that's going to be going on while we're doing our pitch, just so that you're not just getting boring. Here's what's happening with the pitch right now. They said no again. Like I don't want it to be that kind of dry content. I want to try and make it interesting. And of course, we're going to keep all the episodes up too. And eventually, one way or another, we'll end up making new episodes at some point. Like the longest I think I would want to wait is like for AI to come along enough to help out with the episodes. It would probably be 2 years. And in that point, I'd be revisiting, are there any more? Can we mine G1 anymore? Like maybe we'd have to kind of go with Victory and put in a lot of stuff from Victory. The problem with Victory is it's so far away from the animation style, the art style of the American G1 series. Like even Headmasters was, but Victory is really different. And not just the Japanese series, the 3 series from Japan, Headmasters, Master Force, and Victory, and Zone, all look washed out to me. I don't know if that's just me, but it just looks so washed out. Like the colors aren't vibrant at all. A lot of anime is like that. Old anime. I don't know if it's just the copy, like the negatives were like that, or if it aired like that. I don't know. But it just looks so washed out and drab, and that you can correct to some degree, like you've seen in our series. Like I definitely got a lot better at fixing the color palette, like making the American and Japanese series look more similar. But the style of art, there's nothing you can do about that to fix that. It's just impossible. It's just very different. Yeah, the Japanese ones, hey, J Gamerman and Brandon, yeah, it seems like the Japanese continuity was different in every way. Every way. It's an anime, really. I mean, and like I said, I'm not a fan. Never have been. I've tried so many times. The only one that I kind of like is Fist of the North Star. It's just so weird. You know, he punches people and they explode, and it's just so gory. Like, how can you not like it? And Akira, I made it through Akira. I don't really remember it. I think I liked it. I don't know. The thing I hate the most about anime is how it's always the same, almost always, the ones I've seen at least, the same formula. It's either a weak little guy that has miraculous powers somehow, you know, or he's just such a wuss, and he somehow is able to, you know, he just somehow becomes like the most powerful person in the world. I guess it's like a nerd fantasy, right? Like, we all just want to see ourselves as the superhero. But it's either that or a hot chick in leather that, again, just overpowers everybody. It's just, it seems like it's just a power fantasy. Everything has like the same storyline underneath it all, you know. But I'm sure I just offended all of the anime fans, so my apologies. I just don't get it. So don't take too much offense to my uninformed opinion. I've tried many times, but that's why I just really could never watch the Japanese Transformers more than once. Like I said, I made it through all the way to I think I made it to like episode 9 of Victory before I was just like, but that was after. Maybe if I come back to it now, maybe it'll be easier. I did it all in a row. I did Headmasters and Master Force. And then I did Victory, and I was so burnt out. And that was in preparation for this series, because I wanted to get as much footage as I could get. And I heard that Wheeljack, I think, and Perceptor are in Victory. I don't think I ever made it to that episode. I can't remember. Or maybe I did. But they didn't really look like them, I think. I can't remember. You know what? Zone. I'm really rambling on here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go, but I just keep thinking of all this stuff. Zone has, like, all those Decepticon generals in it. Devastator, Menasor, I think Bruticus is in it. Like, there's a bunch of, like, old G1 guys. I didn't even know. I watched Zone, and I didn't even know any of those guys were in it. They look so different. Like, they were in capes and crowns and stuff. I think Triptychon is in it, and he's kind of recognizable. I can't remember. I was like, is that Triptychon? Like, why is he wearing a cape? Anyway, okay. That's enough. Unless you guys have any other questions, I'm going to cut it here. I've rambled on way longer than I thought I would. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you for all your questions. They were awesome. I'm just going to scroll up and make sure that I didn't miss any. I think I caught them all. Yeah, I don't see any missing. So I think we'll just cut it here. And I think probably the next video you see will either be kind of a condensed, more focused version of this with a roadmap of where the channel's heading. The next steps, yeah, Starscream is the only one, the only robot who looks good in a cape. Yeah, basically just a short version of this, or you'll see the Heart of Darkness compilation episode, which will also basically serve as the first remaster. So anyway, thanks again for coming out, guys. I appreciate everybody's sticking around, and I appreciate your interest in the series, and hopefully, you know, I'm sure you guys will be sticking around. Hopefully others do as well, and we can keep this going, and you know, wherever it goes. And hopefully Hasbro has some interest. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't when there's this many people, you know, that are interested in this. You know what, Steph? I actually thought of doing that. I was thinking of redubbing because of AI. You know, now I could pretty much voice all of the characters in that series. Even without AI, I could probably do a lot of them because a lot of them are original characters. I mean, they're not G1. There's not that many G1. There is at the start of Headmasters, but as the series goes, it's mostly just the guys that they introduced. But anyway, that's it for now. Look forward to seeing everybody in the new year, and I hope you guys all have a very prosperous 2024.